Today I'll be exposing one of the most disgusting Roblox YouTubers who have attempted to expose me and has been openly lying to his fans for years, being Navolk. I'll be detailing instances of him slandering people, lying about me consistently, defending known posters, instances of him openly defending doxers and people who've committed felonies, and so much more. I should note that although what Navolk has done is degenerate, he is only 13, and I ask that you do not harass him. This does not mean, however, that his age is a shield from criticism. So I heavily urge all of you to make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and help as many people see this video as possible, and also make sure to watch until the end, because there is some insane things that need to be discussed about Navolk. So recently, Navolk has made it his mission to drop video after video on me, completely lying, slandering me, and defending objectively bad people. And something I hope no one forgets is Navolk is currently defending a known doxer, habitual liar, and poster known as Paymentries.
Now, we're going to talk about the blackmail. An alleged victim of Parlo's blackmail recently reached out to me to tell you guys their story. So they told me that Parlo has doxed them before, and has threatened to dox them more if they came out about them. They also made false allegations about this guy having illegal material.
Now, in Navolk's video on me, he poorly censored this user's name out, who's clearly a user called Paymentries. And in Paymentries' own video, you can see that they're in active contact with both Navolk and Zero. When confronted, Navolk even states that he knows Paymentries' past alias being called Blue. Blue would post my home address in Discord servers, YouTube Premiere chats, and literally everywhere, all while making the most vile comments imaginable. Blue also threatened to full strike my channel, talked about how they would send pizzas to my house, and tried to blackmail me to join calls or else they'd spam my personal information. They also defended the disgraced YouTuber PGHL Films, used racial slurs, and stated how they wished my family so I wouldn't have been born, and they also stated that they would to myself images from when I was 16. Keep in mind, Navolk is seen being friendly towards this user despite knowing that they have done all of this, even featuring them inside a video completely lying about me. But if you think this isn't bad enough for Navolk, it keeps getting worse. Their best friend Blue is even seen posting my address again, posting my house on their YouTube channel, and encouraging people to send me pizzas and even while also being seen baiting for sympathy and spamming racial slurs. And what transpired next was disgusting. Blue was seen posting illicit material of exposing other in this group chat to the content, and keep in mind they admitted it was illicit content on their own volition. They had also posted my docs information again, and then posted more instances of this illicit content, even this time telling people to clip it. This group chat in which they disseminated this illegal content in contained Arham, who was 15 years old, as well as other such as Sonic, who was 15 as well, with them being mentally scarred from seeing this material that Blue had just posted. In another group chat that Blue had posted this illicit material in, another who was years old was exposed as well to seeing this. Navolk has shown that he is willing to defend users like this and brush off the fact that it was a crime and platform their statements regardless, without even verifying the authenticity behind what they say. Navolk has 36,000 subscribers and a fanbase of people who will believe anything he says, yet him and even Zero are seen associating and being mutuals with a user who has and when I asked for proof for this user's innocence, it is just a trust me bro situation. Blue had even earlier stated that the girl had too big of for them to have been a which is one, such an insane thing to say, and two, everyone in the group chat, including saw how young the girl who featured in this content was and could clearly discern that they were a The whole reason for why Blue used a new alias and wanted their name to be blurred in Navolk's video is because they were scared and terrified of people knowing what they did. And so it'd be easier to make and then push out unfounded accusations with zero evidence, and Navolk was more willing to cover for them, essentially, if they were anonymous.
If Parlo is blackmailing children, then that would be extremely disturbing. Me and them confronted Parlo about this in a group chat, and it got heated. Parlo thought he had a gotcha moment with me, with Guamgo saying that this person actually did have illicit material, but they responded, and apparently they were manipulated into thinking it was illegal when it wasn't.
Navolk might be one of the dumbest Roblox YouTubers I've ever seen. Ardently defending someone as disgusting as Blue, he will blatantly disregard the victims who were exposed to this illicit material themselves, and instead take the word of such an egregious and habitual liar with zero evidence. Blue is seen admitting that the content was illegal when they had posted it the first time. Everyone was very easily able to discern the fact that the person in the video was Blue has zero excuse and still attempts to victimize themselves, claiming that they were manipulated into thinking that the content was illegal. Like, what? Even in the astronomically small chance that it wasn't illicit material, Blue still posted to some even younger than themselves, and Navolk does nothing to call them out. Even worse for Blue was the fact that even if it wasn't illicit material as well, they still continued to post it thinking that it was, to of course traumatize other people in the group chat. It's quite literally evil and malicious behavior. Navolk even shows a tweet of mine exposing this user for their vile actions, so he knows exactly what Blue, aka Paymentries, has done, but he defends them nonetheless. Paymentries, when confronted, shows zero proof on how they were innocent, and they are simply just trying to victimize themselves once again, instead of even taking the bare minimum accountability for harassing, doxing, and saying absolutely disgusting things. When confronted, Navolk was seen in the group chat straight up lying and claiming that I doxed this user too. However, then they are seen shifting the goalpost, stating, well, your mutual did. This is painfully ironic for two reasons. One, Blue made his name known to us when he was screen sharing himself resetting his computer, which showed his name, because he was caught having numerous examples of material on it. And two, if Navolk is claiming that saying someone's name is considered doxing, that is bitterly ironic, as he is seen defending Blue themselves, who is a known doxer and who has used many alternate accounts to harass me on, and even defended another doxer who I will be color coding as Red. Mr. Red was the original person who made the false document on me, which was completely debunked, and Mr. Red was seen in a group chat with Zero and Zen on Discord, where they made comments about making false and fictitious police reports to my house, essentially wasting police's time. Red also stated he wanted to find my mother's name. What the f did my mother even do to be involved in this? And even worse, he wanted to find my phone number, and was even encouraging Zen to make prank calls to me, to of course intimidate me and pile on stress. Mr. Red was seen telling these users on how to exactly find my personal information, and even stated my full legal name to them so that they could access it on Spim. Mr. Red was actively supplying in this group chat with methods on how to get my personal information, and when I confronted Navolk about this, he defended it and claimed it was debunked, when there's literally nothing to debunk to begin with. Now here's what Guamgo had to say about Blue when we confronted Blue on factory resetting their computer.
So Guamgo, can you explain the situation to do with Blue and how they publicly showed their name to us in call once we confronted them regarding their consistent posting of illicit content towards many?
So here's what happened. Blue straight up admitted in the group chat that he sent an illicit video of a with no hesitation, and he didn't deny it at all at first. Once we confronted him about constantly posting that illicit content of we got him into a voice call and convinced him to screen share his files. At first he kept denying that he still had it saved, acting like it was completely gone, but when we went through his files with his consent, we found the exact same video he had sent. It was disturbing, it was disgusting. We could see the preview of the file, and the title alone heavily implied that it was an illicit video of a There was absolutely no mistaking what it was. His claims where he tried to say that we were somehow doxing him is completely ridiculous and unfounded. He revealed everything that was ever mentioned about his identity himself during that call. We told him to reset his computer immediately because he admitted that it was his mom's computer, and if those videos stayed there, it could get her into serious legal trouble. And during that same screen share, Blue revealed his location and his mom's full name. And just to be clear, the video he posted in that group chat was undeniably a On top of that, numerous people in that group chat were under the age of 16. Some of those people Blue had added himself were literally 11 years old.
So as you can see, Navolk defends objectively disgusting people while openly pushing forward false, unsubstantiated information against me. So now we're going to get to this part of the video, and we're going to do a little round of quick-fire debunking of his video, picking apart every lie and inconsistency. My editor Cormax will be having a little counter at the top corner tallying every lie, so you can truly see how terrible this video was.
So I'm sure you guys know about the Harry Twinkle drama by now. Harry Twinkle became Prime Vaughn and became a bad person. But we're going to discuss something different. In this announcement, Parlo is celebrating and making fun of Harry Twinkle's crash out. Now, what crash out am I talking about? Harry got backstabbed by the UTTP, and Parlo knew this would happen. Roll the crash out.
Alright, so first lie right here. Navolk claims that I actively made fun of Harry Twinkle's crash out in my announcement tab. This is categorically false. Not once did I celebrate, but I highlighted how ironic it was that the UTTP, who Harry Twinkle collabed with to harass me, despite knowing their crimes, would turn on him. Admittedly, it was a callous and tone-deaf post that I regret making, and it was made because I did not know what was actually transpiring behind the scenes at the time.
Harry got backstabbed by the UTTP, and Parlo knew this would happen.
Navolk attempts to claim that I knew this was all going to happen while showing zero evidence whatsoever, essentially making an egregious speculative claim and straight up lying, followed by him showing a video that was completely different to the video that I showed in announcements. The video I showed in announcements was a video that Harry Twinkle uploaded to his YouTube channel under the shorts category, and I believe this video to have been a lie and appeal to victimize himself, since he had made a multitude of other videos before, basically lying to cover for himself. Not only does Navolk show a completely different video to twist the situation maliciously to his benefit and to deceive his viewers, but he shows the video that contains an uncensored image of Harry Twinkle's face, essentially violating his privacy, and Navolk is seen giving attention to the user who took of Harry in the first place and made him have this mental breakdown in this video call, giving them exactly what they wanted: attention. Not once did I make fun of Harry Twinkle emotionally breaking down in this video. In fact, it was so disturbing and gross that I reached out to him on my own volition, saw the DMs of him being taken off to make my own grounded conclusion on what had happened, and then got in call with Harry's parents, warning them of the situation and how disgusting it was because it was extremely concerning.
Do you like Parlo's thumbnails? Nice, aren't they? Well, if you do, then watch this leaked clip.
I don't try to thumbnail after thumbnail after thumbnail, idiot.
Do you even pay him?
Hey, Kyle.
Do you pay him?
Defender, let's play some Minecraft.
Do you pay him? What? Is it for free?
What?
Is it for free?
I'm just gonna message Arm asking, tell him himself if he's accepted.
Okay.
I'll let you tell him. I am paying him. No, sir, I won't be paying him. Sorry. I completely I'm not paying him. And that's going to change because I've got half of the gold.
I asked Delta if Parlo pays him, and he just talked about some nonsense.
Another lie Navolk pushes was that I do not pay my thumbnail editor. Again, miraculously, he does not actually show any feasible evidence behind this claim once again, but instead only plays a leaked call where me and Guam go in call with Defender were joking about the situation. Navolk purposely included a situation like this to pile on to his other points against me because he is essentially grasping at straws. Not only am I on record paying Delta £100 for his work, but Delta was actively seen being uncomfortable by Navolk pressing him for information, and yet Navolk leaked his messages anyway and included him in this video, and here's what Delta had to say about it all.
So Delta, can you confirm that 1, you do thumbnails for me, and 2, that I also paid you, and that Navolk completely just sidestepped your reply to him in DMs and leaked your messages without your consent?
Yeah, I've done multiple thumbnails for you, and you've paid me for every single one on multiple occasions, and I told Nivel not to leak any messages and to keep my name censored, which they did not do.
So as you can see by this call I had with Delta, Navolk was purposely being bad faith here, and didn't even respect Delta's privacy.
Parlo makes hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and can at least pay his thumbnail editor a little bit.
Even better in this clip was that Navolk openly lies once again and claims that I make hundreds of thousands of dollars off of YouTube a year. Once again, this is yet another fact that he made the up with zero evidence, and the screenshot he shows is a Social Blade statistic showing a massive range of earnings that I could make a month. He somehow took the upper bound of this range and just assumed my RPM for YouTube must have been extremely high, and slammed it into his poorly researched video, once again proving he has no idea what he's talking about. Now the next lie Navolk made was that I hated He made this statement verbatim on his community tab before removing it after I had confronted him, because he knew that this was such an insane over-exaggeration and attempt at character assassination.
Okay, I really hate to say this, but I fucking hate guys.
Guys,
Really,
yup,
guys, I really hate to say this, but I think I see a right there. Yup. Wait.
Now I take full responsibility with this one. In this call I was extremely edgy and I wanted to be comical and to make people laugh, so I said stupid dumb jokes for attention. While these jokes are not indicative of me having any hatred towards Jewish people, and most people know this, it was no excuse to make jokes at the expense of them regardless. However, for Navolk to stretch this as a genuine example of me hating them at the time is an extremely bad faith lie. My criticism to Israel comes in regards to the government of the country and the country's long, extremely controversial treatment of people in Palestine, Lebanon, and other neighboring regions.
Parlo's response to this was that 1, he is Jewish himself, and he can say this, and 2, he was joking.
Claiming it was made to upset Jewish people, no it wasn't. My mother's side of the family is also Jewish, and so by matrilineal descent I am too. And then what is insane is that Navolk is seen attempting to cast doubt on the statement I made, clearly going over how I am of Jewish heritage by matrilineal descent. Like, who is this guy to make this statement? He knows literally nothing about me, yet he feels like he has the moral authority to claim who is Jewish and who isn't. Now the next point Navolk made was bringing back homotopia, which has already been addressed numerous times now. He attempts to source an old response I made in 2023 that was kept up for archive purposes, rather than my actual relevant document. My 2023 response is outdated and was made at the time that I was unaware of the extent of degeneracy that took place on the server, and while I was still being manipulated by Nephorix. Navolk does rightfully call out how degenerative Homotopia was, however attempts to source a response I made 2 years ago to make it seem as if I was covering it up or did not acknowledge the extent of the situation. I made it no secret that the server was inherently degenerate. I wanted the server to have a high member to moderator ratio to ensure that the server did not fall into unmitigated degeneracy, and the server only continued to get worse as I was inactive and completely absent. Keep in mind, thousands of messages were made on the server, and since I barely interacted with people on it, there was zero chance that I could retroactively scroll back and filter through all the hundreds of messages by these users to selectively find the ones which were problematic. While I completely agree the server was a mistake and shouldn't have been made, my intentions for making such a server was to socialize with more people and network with individuals, and unfortunately it turned into a hole when I was not there to supervise it. And keep in mind, Pyro, the youngest person in the server, was 2 years 1 month younger than me, so in no way does this situation make me a or a. When there was information given to me a day after the server's creation on May the 15th about a high-ranking mod named Dave on Pyro, I immediately gave mod to the person who was reporting it to me to have them ban Day and then consistently ban their alternate accounts that joined throughout the rest of the server's tenure. Regarding Nephorix being moderator again, I have addressed this in my document and response video, which I feel like Navolk purposely sidesteps and ignores. And it brings up the question of, if these people like Zero and Navolk want accountability to be taken, then why do they continue to milk the situation to their own benefit regardless of how transparent I am? Well, the answer is simple. Despite me being more than open about my wrongs, they do not care about me being honest. You cannot be reasonable to people like this who do not want to be reasoned with. And again, there is zero mention of my document in Navolk's video that explains the Nephorix situation or even how she took of me. Again, selective obfuscation of the full context. Now, if you think Navolk's horrible behavior ends with his recent video on me, you'd be mistaken. Navolk is currently also on record actively defending a user named Bucketeer, who in 2023 had openly posted a video of being by an older man while they were only wearing in a Discord group chat with numerous inside of it. The veracity of this claim has also been attested by numerous individuals. Bucketeer also actively ran a Discord server that allowed and facilitated an environment for to post meme content to one another, which is bitterly ironic considering the fact that Navolk is seen defending Bucket's behavior and using his age at the time of 14 as an excuse to belittle the severity of the situation, while inversely bashing me for Homotopia, despite me addressing the situation in detail numerous times and taking accountability for it. And keep in mind, I was not active.
Hey guys, the name's Cormax, editor for Parlo, and I'm going to dedicate this segment to how Navolk belittles victims who have witnessed illegal material sent by Bucketeer. So just imagine that you've witnessed one of the worst things you have ever seen on the internet, even leaving you traumatized in the process. And some kid named Navolk begins jumping in and claiming that you've been quote-unquote paid to testify to what you have seen to fit his narrative. How would you feel in that situation? And by the way, Navolk attempts to claim that he saw the video himself and that it wasn't illegal material, and even describes the video as a workout video of a gym coach showing off his students' progress. If the video was really as tame as just a gym coach showing off his students' progress, then why the f did Bucketeer even have to apologize to Frev for sending this video multiple times if there's really no problem with it? It really just shows that Navolk knows absolutely nothing about what he's talking about, and he's interjecting himself into situations that he was never a part of. And he's only doing this to invalidate the many victims who have witnessed about content Bucketeer had posted in order to go after Parlo. It's utterly disgusting, and I believe you all should take this into account when it comes to who Navolk really is, as I hand it back over to Parlo.
Navolk has shown his incapability in dealing with these serious situations, especially considering his history of falsely claiming the Roblox YouTuber Chills was a for explicit messages he made when he was 14 in 2022.
And now we're going to get into the creepy part, where Chills literally someone, and the we're talking about is not when you brush your dog or cat, it's the other type of. Before we get into the screenshots, note something. The people he's talking to are either his ex-girlfriend, a very young girl, or someone else. Keep in mind Chills was about 15 or 14 when these screenshots were taken. Here's Chills being a weirdo. I'm not sure who he was talking to in the screenshot. Even if it was his girlfriend, this is just so weird. I don't know how people think this is okay. And if this was the young girl he is talking to, then that is creepy. I don't know how old she was, but she's young. Allegedly 3 years younger than Chills. chills.
Notice how Navolk shows zero evidence to whom these messages were even being directed to. All he does is specify claims backed up by no sources, no witness testimony, and backed up by zero definitive proof. He has no idea who the victim is or even how old they were, but he still feels he has the moral authority to claim that Chills is a for this situation. Now, under no circumstances am I defending Chills, so let's not twist it that way. He still objectively made his mods uncomfortable with these vile comments, but Navolk has proven that he has no moral consistency, no moral backbone, and cannot do the feasible level of research someone in his position must do. His age, being 13, is no excuse. He knows better and he knows how to research. It's just that he's effectively gotten away with not being called out for his research skills until now. And even worse for him is that despite the fact that he knew that his Chills video was complete misinformation, he's still decided to keep the video up because it's gotten him a lot of views.
And by the way, you can be a at 14. That is very possible, mind.
Navolk believes that a 14-year-old can be a at that age. However, will be seen using that age as an excuse to play down the actions of associates such as Bucketeer, who has also committed egregious actions. Even in reference to Navolk's video on Harry Twinkle clickbaiting that he was innocent, and keep in mind this video is still up and is still convincing easily impressionable children that Harry is innocent despite him doing a plethora of vile actions, Navolk was seen essentially in this video belittling and rationalizing Harry Twinkle's illegal action of trying to illicit material from other. I mean, just watch what he says.
His next 2 points were that he didn't actually send his Hair-a-Twinkle to his girlfriend. He said it was a picture from Google, and he was only trying to get her Tinkle Harrys in return. Therefore, he did not send it, and it wasn't illegal.
What the are you on about, Navolk? I mean, you even admit that the video aged poorly, but you continue to keep it up because it got you tens of thousands of views.
The girl never sent him anything, so he's clear on that, and it's just a mistake on his part.
He's clear on that. No, he is not. He attempted to send images from a and even if he didn't send any illicit images of himself to them, he still sent to her, which is absolutely disgusting. And I mean, Navolk is literally seen putting text on the screen that argues we shouldn't pry into his relationship situation, and it's like, what? And girl could have been victimized and was being pried for illicit images, and Navolk just wants to cover that up and play down Harry's actions. That is such an insane double standard. This is made even worse with the fact that Navolk will try and villainize absolutely everything I have done while victimizing others of legitimate crimes. Navolk is also even seen maliciously trying to expose me for having joined a Boy Kisser Discord server ran by a in late 2023 to expose it. Now, this behavior is seen by Ruben Sim and even text-to-speech, two popular individuals who are known to bust and crack down on disgusting Discord servers. What they do is they join the server, collect evidence, report it, and then make a post calling it out. Of course, though, Navolk does not care about that and is only seen attempting to gun for me. He initially attempts to claim that I was in this server for ulterior motives, and I think you all know what he's trying to insinuate there. However, the only screenshot he has for evidence was a statement I made in 2023 where I highlighted how I was in the server to expose it, and then someone posted material, to which I immediately left. I don't know what kind of expose point this is, except if not Navolk grasping at straws for anything against me. But me joining servers to collect evidence to then call them out was something I do a lot. I did it against the UTTP, I have done it against spawnist groups, and even Lilix back last year in his horrific Discord server. There are no ulterior motives, and it truly shows how Navolk will scrape the bottom of the barrel for anything he can use against me. Now, next claim feeds into a larger situation that I'm going to address regarding Defender in the future. However, essentially the situation was far more complex than people are attempting to insinuate, and throughout last year, oftentimes, Defender supplied information to me regarding UTTP consistently, and even made FBI reports against them, which I saw, backed up by his own words too in this mobile screen recording.
Like, are you like a closeted homo? Or is that why you have his saved?
I think
Like-
IKEA
like every time,
Wait. I think you're trying to defend IKEA because he's secretly trying to send you.
Here we go, here it is. Is this the little smirk you do when you see like all the your hard drive like all fine and dandy?
Why doesn't Parlo care that this guy is openly saying that he has extremely illegal material?
Now, in this call that Navolk shows, he attempts to spin the narrative that I knew that Defender openly stored of IKEA who was 16. Now keep in mind, as one can judge by this call, I was critical of Defender's behavior and very suspicious of the situation. Defender was apparently 15 to 16 at this time, as told to me only a week ago, and during the time of the call, I believe that there was a possibility that he had involvement in the situation. However, all I had was a cropped screenshot that he consistently claimed was fake due to the profile picture being square. Keep in mind too, this screenshot came from an old UTTP higher-up named Anime Sucks, and these people have a long history of forging evidence on numerous individuals, including myself and Creecraft. They were very good at forging Discord messages. It was only until a document came out recently showing more of the Discord message logs that it fully cemented the fact that Defender was most likely complicit in this situation, and him not making a response to counter it only makes it look worse for him. At the time, I teased him and pressed him on the situation, but he did not budge. It was essentially this single cropped screenshot, which seemed to be out of context, versus his own words, so you can see why basically nothing came of it all. Don't worry, I will be talking a lot more about this situation.
So we will talk about Harry Twinkle, and then we will discuss how Parlo blackmailed a literal with his friends.
Navolk will claim that I blackmailed Blue and will show zero evidence for this, other than Blue's Discord testimony, which is backed on zero basis, and also with the additive context that Blue is a habitual liar. Essentially, the conclusion for all of this is that Navolk is a hypocrite. He would defend people who have done far worse actions than the people he criticizes, and he is essentially the Better Call Saul of Roblox posters. His age of being 13 is not an excuse nor a shield of criticism, and again, he instigated this entire situation, and I have every right to defend myself from his lies. Navolk does not care about the truth, nor does Zero. They only care about twisting facts when it best suits them, and associating with objectively disgusting individuals like Paymentries, aka Blue. Navolk should not be creating Roblox drama content at his age, because he has shown his inability to coherently address situations without pushing forward baseless and false information. Once again, I don't encourage anyone to harass him. This video was necessary, however, in highlighting the friend circle that these users keep around them, and also to once again defend myself from all the lies that they are pushing. But anyway, for clarification as this video ends, this video is not intended for hate, harassment, or cyberbullying whatsoever. This video is instead intended for educational and informative purposes only, going over the entire situation as a whole in a documentary style context. I'd also like to clarify that this video is intended for more mature audiences as well, as more mature themes are actively being discussed, so viewer discretion is of course advised. All necessary content has been sufficiently blurred, and this video complies with all of YouTube's community guidelines. And with that all being said, thank you all for watching.